Good evening, members of Spiritual Encrypted Encounters. How's everybody doing this evening? For those who follow me here on Facebook, for those who follow Spiritual Encrypted Encounters on YouTube, and those who follow me on TikTok under Abe CS. How's everybody doing today? As for me, I am doing good. You know how I do. I just like making feeds out of the blue. Hope y'all been enjoying all this short reels that I've been creating out of my live feeds. The short reels that I create, brothers and sisters, it's within, when people say, where's the evidence, where's the proof? Look at the short reels. The short reels has the evidence and proof of some of the short reels have where something's moving, or I create short reels from screenshots so you can see it better. Sometimes through screenshots you can see it, but at the same time I like catching the short reels when there is movement. And of the ones that I've been placing lately, it's been getting a lot of likes on YouTube. How you doing, Cousin Jesse? Is the short reels on YouTube is dealing with the disembodied voices, the activity when they respond. When I see some of the shows on TV where they use boxes, like supposedly they talk to them or whatever. Well, I don't need that because they come and talk straight to the mic, to my phone. Y'all can tell it's something talking straight to it, or coming from a different dimension or realm. How you doing, cousin Jesse? You can tell that there's activity there. I think the latest one that I placed, it didn't get that many views, but it's there where I'm feeling kind of heavy already because it was our activity was getting hot and heavy, and I say that I could feel heaviness, and when I said I feel heavy, I heard something say pig, right? Call me a pig. And then I said, if there's anything negative around me, I tie, bind, and rebuke you in Jesus' name. When I said that, then it said, fuck me, fuck me, like I rebuked it, and it said, fuck me, excuse my language, but that's what it said on the video. That day, I caught so much activity that I've never caught him before. I mean, and almost in every video, there's disembodied voice saying something. It's not good things. There's a lot of bad words that they use. Or sometimes I got some where they're talking a whole different, complete dialect. I will have to go back to the footage to get that, where they're talking a different, complete language that I don't even understand what they're saying, whether it's Latin or old language from back in the day, but they're talking a whole different language. Today I just wanted to talk about a couple things. This is for, when I place the short reels out there, guys, I place it because I go investigate. First of all, I'll go investigate. For those who know me, I've done spiritual works all my life. I've been spiritual all my life. Have had a love foundation. I was the type of person where I rather have love than had to fight. But after, when I turned 18, 19, I joined the military. So I've been out there in the front lines when I was 19 years old. Straight out of basic. Not even a year in the military, I got sent to Operation Desert Storm, or Shield, whatever you want to call it, Desert Storm. I was out there as a tanker on the M1A1 Abrams as a tanker, and I was in the front lines. Normally the heavy armor, I was in the front lines, and I fought the Medina Republican Guard, which was Saddam Hussein's elite army. His best Republican Guard was his best. He's elite. We fought them out there in the front lines in the desert. It was a tank battle, tank war, the Battle of Medina Ridge. That was in dug in position, waiting for us. We overcame them and destroyed them in combat, right? And then, like I said, when I do the short reels, these videos, because I go investigate, I place my evidence, I believe all evidence is good. So I place whether it's a screenshot, whether it's a short reel of something within the video, or whether it's disembodied voices, I place that as evidence. But I see that some of the comments of some of the people, that I don't know if they got nothing else better to do, but I don't even think they take the time to probably listen to this video. But for all the people that have something negative to say, like just because I'm placing my evidence of my recording or my screenshot or my short reels out there, don't mean I'm crazy, Can I be crazy because of where I've been? I was in combat. I'm a veteran. They call that PTSD, right? PTSD. Or I've been spiritually attacked, fought spiritually also by these demonic beings that came at me back when they hit me hard in 2015. They were trying to take me out, and I overcame them also. So when people say crazy, man, how can I say this? When people say crazy to me, or they said that I'm hearing voices or this, well, the evidence is right there because I'm placing it there. But I've been there, I've been there where, what can you say? How can I say it? I'm going to say it the best way that I can. I've been there when there's the fine line of living and dying. I've been there in combat where when you're there and you're seeing everything go slow motion because of the adrenaline rush, and all these weapons are going off and you don't know if you're going to live or die, but you have to get that out of your mind, right? So when everything's said and done, we survived. So when you say crazy, well, I've been in the crazy, in the real life crazy, probably somewhere where you wouldn't want to be. Which in that crazy, people die. I've been there. So after the crazy of the battle of the war, of course, spirits live, right? The spirits continue to live. So you hear things after, you got to remember war, for those that want to say crazy. After a battle, right? After a battle in war, there's got to be a body bag detail. So what does that mean? That means that whoever died in combat is still laying out there. However they're laying, however they are, body parts or whatever, they're still out there. So there's got to be a body bag detail to pick them up, pick those bodies up. Sometimes those body bag details don't happen automatically. You could be sitting there after a war, during war, those bodies could be sitting there for several days. So when you say that kind of crazy, I've been there, I've seen that crazy. I don't think, for those that say crazy and want to make fun of things like this, I don't think you will be able to handle it, honestly. If when you say crazy, it's funny to you, but to me it's not funny because I've seen it. I've seen that kind of craziness. Then, and the spiritual aspect out of it, when I fought spiritually, that kind of crazy is different than a physical crazy. That crazy is more of a spiritual. It's when they come at you spiritually, right? Because you have a spiritual opening. A spiritual opening could be where I've been in combat. That could be one. You could have anger. You could have hatred. You could have fear. Or you just don't care. That could be an opening, right? Like when you say a smart comment or something ridiculous that you don't even know who I am, where I've been, what I've done. You got that other kind of crazy where you leave yourself a spiritual opening in which You're going to hear things, right? They're going to try to come and attack you spiritually. When attacked spiritually, you're going to hear voices. You're going to get physically touched spiritually. If they got a spiritual hit on you, they can shove you, they can hit you. So that's a whole different kind of crazy, you know. How should I say? How should I say it? You gotta live it to believe it. But at the same time, that kind of crazy, you can't believe in it too much, because you believe it, it's going to bond you even more. So that's a different kind of crazy, right? Then of course, you got the other crazy of people that don't know what they're talking about when they say the word crazy, because they don't understand. Like people like me, where I've been, whether it's been physically or spiritually, you don't understand. So the only thing that when somebody doesn't understand something is something stupid, you know. So to me, those people, they say something ridiculous, they don't understand. To me, those are stupid people. But at the same time, that stupidness could come from being bonded by a negative attachment, in which is causing you to be that way. You know, there's so many events where people were being bonded by demons, and that will make them do stupid stuff. You know, and I see a lot of that. Those kind of individuals within the world, not just the world, but within this platform, YouTube, Facebook, you know, people that have nothing nice to say, or just say want to be a comedian or whatever, they don't want to take it seriously. I understand that's on them, but my side is not spiritual and comedy encounters. My side is called spiritual encrypted encounters. So if you want to be funny or think you're funny, if you haven't been there to understand why I do the works that I do, of what I've been through, what I've seen, then you will never understand. But this is just a video talking about the word crazy. In Spanish, it's called loco. Anybody, how you doing, Sister Amber Brewer? Anybody can be loco. Anybody can be crazy, you know. But I see a lot of that, brothers and sisters. I run into people, you know, where I've been, what I've done. You know, that's already a burden over my head, you know, that I carry with me daily. You know, when they say you carry a cross daily, a cross with you daily, well, I carry that with me every day, but I don't let it get power over me. What I do, I stay physically active. I do my workouts. When I do my workouts, I meditate and stay focused. You know, when this is for the people that talk about crazy. If a bad thought or disembodied voice goes into your head, tie, bind, and rebuke it in Jesus Christ's name right off the bat. Get that thought out of your mind. Get that disembodied voice, because when people say, well, I hear little voices, well, it's something spiritually trying to affect your mind. Rebuke it in Jesus Christ's name, because you have more authority over anything that's disembodied, which means spirit. You have more authority over it. So it's up to you what you allow to affect your mind and your heart. When I go out there, it's because I want to awaken my brothers and sisters. I'm talking about everybody in general. I want to awaken my brothers and sisters spiritually, to let y'all know that the spiritual aspect of it is very real. For those who haven't seen it, check out the short reels that I've created for y'all on Spiritual Encrypted Encounters here on Facebook, on YouTube, or under Abe Cias on TikTok. I have a lot of short reels of what I encounter when I go out there. You know, there's always people that say, I want to see proof. So I show them the proof. You know, sometimes, you know, it's kind of like this. If I just would worry about myself, and I would say, you know what, I'm just going to worry about myself, not worry about nobody else in this world, and just worry about myself, even though I know what exists. It's like this: if you could prevent somebody from going through what you went through, would you do it? Would you be there to help them out of the kindness of your heart? Would you do it? That's why I do this works. Because if somebody's going through something that they don't understand spiritually, I am here to assist anybody that needs spiritual help. Because I don't want anybody to go through what I went through. Sometimes we have to go through things in lives in order for us to understand or overcome it, which is going to make us stronger spiritually. But imagine how many people, brothers and sisters, how you doing, Brother Peter Lemos, Sister Amber? Imagine how many people in life failed because they didn't know how to handle the situation that they were going through. And the negativity that was around them made them finish their time here on earth, because that's what they do. They made the individual take their life out of this world. It happens all the time. When, like I said, I'm going back to the topic of crazy. Crazy involves disembodied voices. Spiritual, because there's a different kind of crazy. You got the crazy where you have psychiatrists and doctors that are just about medicine. You know that the medicines that come with that, some of the medicines that give the people that supposedly are hallucinating or hearing voices, they give a medicine that's suicidal. So it's not really helping them. It makes them worse, right? Because those medicines makes them suicidal, in which it's a spiritual opening for whatever's trying to attack them, for it to conquer that individual. It's actually making them weaker. That's why I create this group, Spiritual Encrypted Encounters, to help all people of all different kinds of things that are happening around the world. I helped out people when I was in the military, and a sergeant. I was taking care of a soldier that was in the 5th Ward in Darnell Hospital in Killeen, Texas. I remember when I met him, he was walking the quad. Back then, they didn't have the phones with the earpieces. It was like in the, I believe, like in the late 90s. I don't know. He was talking to himself, So I seen him talking to himself, and he passed. They were coming from Bosnia, or I believe Bosnia or Somalia, one of the two. He was talking to himself. Later on that evening, they told me that I got a call that they wanted me to go report at the battalion because I needed to guard a guy or a soldier that tried to commit suicide. So they told me that I was going to had the night shift, and that if anything happened to him, I'm going to be held kind of responsible if anything happened to him. So when I went there to guard him at nighttime, his name was Sergeant Edwards. That's because we call ourselves by the last name. His name was Sergeant Edwards, and he wasn't saying too much, but he had cuts on his stomach and in his wrist where I guess he tried to cut himself. So my job was to keep an eye on him 24/7. Like, I was like on him like white on rice, just looking right at him to make sure he didn't make no movements, like he was doing anything physical to himself. So that was my job at nighttime. What I witnessed, I've been spiritual all my life, and I have the spiritual gift to see things. Some of the things that I witnessed at the 5th Ward, where they have all these people that are suicidal. Suicidal is part of crazy, right? One of the things I noticed was this dark shadow spirits roaming around in the hallways, just flying from room to room. I witnessed that right off the bat when I walked in the 5th Ward. Was this unclean spirits going from room to room and the patients that were there that were being, to me, spiritually attacked or spiritually bonded, when those unclean spirits would enter them, they would act differently. So I would take my Bible with me, take my Bible in there with me, and I would open it up and read scripture, just think, to keep myself from allowing these unclean spirits that were roaming in the Darnier ward to try to attach themselves to me. So there was one evening where I witnessed something in the room where Sergeant Edwards was. What I witnessed was there was what seemed to be a spirit of a boy standing beside him, and it was a form of a spirit of a boy hitting him in the head, and I started seeing him going like this. Next thing you know, I seen a dark shadow figure, like it changed his manifestation to this black dark figure, and it was hitting him. So he woke up, and I seen when he woke up, I started praying within myself, the Our Father, when I witnessed this with the deliverance prayer, and the dark shadow spirit left out of the room. So as he left out of the room, he looked at me and I looked at him, and he said, "Did you see him? Did you see my brother?" That's what he said. So to me, when he's telling me I seen a spirit that is telling me that it's his brother, he basically telling me that his brother is not alive, right? So I told him, "Yeah, I seen something." I said, "What did you see?" So, "Well, it was my brother." He said, "My brother, he was hitting me on the head. He comes and haunts me all the time." And I told him that wasn't his brother. I told him, "Yeah, I seen the what seemed to be a boy, but then it turned into something else. But it wasn't your brother. It was a dark shadow figure." And I asked, "What happened to your brother?" And he told me that his brother, when they were younger, they were swimming in a lake. He got cramps on the legs, and he couldn't save his brother's life. So he seen his brother go down into the deep, and he drowned in the water. So he thought he was his brother. But the reason he was there, the reason was there is that when he came back from Bosnia, his wife had left him with the children. So he couldn't handle the separation or the thought of him not being around his kids and his wife's leaving him. So he kind of lost it, So that's why he was there. He tried to cut himself a couple of times. One time I let him go in the shower. Now we're talking about crazy, We're talking about crazy. He was in the shower, and something didn't seem right. So when I opened the shower curtain, he picked in. He was trying to take a screw out of the drainage that's in the shower. He was unscrewing it, trying to unscrew it. So after that, it's like, you know what? From now on, when you take a shower, you're going to take a shower with the shower curtain open. When you go take a dump, I'm going to see you take a dump, because I'm not going to let you do nothing to yourself. So I was on him like white on rice, So I had to like literally watch every movie made. There was one time that we're talking about crazy. For those that talk about crazy, it was one day, those little orange juice things, the little cups of plastic that has the aluminum on it, like a little that you just what do you call it? You open them up like this. It's got like a little bit of glue, and you unwrap it. Well, he grabbed that foil and he tied it real tight, and it almost looked like a blade. That's how tight he tightened it, because he was trying to cut himself again. So I confiscated that. When we talk about crazy, I witnessed that, and there were some other patients there that, some were being attacked there was demons of of separation, demons of assault. You know, a lot of different people that were in there, different things that happened to them. You know, I believe there was a girl that was in there that had a demon of, how should I say it? What's the proper word for it? Of perversion. Of perversion. So there was a lot of patients in there that had many different things. But basically, to make a long story short, Brother Edwards, I took care of him for about a month, and the sergeant major said he wanted to get rid of him. I had told the sergeant major that he needed an exorcism because I believe he was being demonically attacked, and he told me he didn't believe in that. So he said he was just going to get him out of the military. He got him out of the military, not even a week, and he took his life. You know, sergeant major could have done something about it. You could have got him some proper help, the right help. So medicine or a psychiatrist sometimes is not the right help. You got a different kind of help, the spiritual help. Because the only thing a doctor is going to do is going to give you meds to try to control you, try to bondage you even more, because the side effects of the meds are not good. There's some meds that people take that puts them to sleep, or they're in a zombie-like state. What happens if you're in a zombie-like state? All the doors to your foundation are open. So you can get spiritually attacked by anything, you know, because you're not going to be able to fight spiritually. That's why I don't agree with a lot of those meds that are out there, especially for the veterans. They say they have PTSD, and the medicine they give them is suicidal. I don't agree in that. You know, I don't take no medicines for that, even though I've been out there and I've done the things that I've done. I don't believe in taking that, because just like I had a strong will just to survive what I saw when I was out there, with all the things that I've been through in my life, you know, I have a strong will, a strong mind, a strong heart, that it doesn't bother me that much, because when you experience something or go through something, whether it's physical or spiritual, it's just going to make you stronger, because you're going to understand it more. It's kind of like when you rub against something, or it enters your spirit. It's kind of like you learn from the experience that you went through, and you learn to overcome and adapt. So when something like that happens again, you know exactly what to do to handle the situation, whether it's physical or spiritual. Some of us, yes, Brother Peter Limos, Jesus Christ is King. You should see the video where I was making a video. I made a short reel out of it where I said I feel something heavy, and I heard the word pig. And then I said, is there any negative energies around me? I tied bind and rebuke in Jesus Christ's name. Then a little bit after that, you hear something say, F me, you know, like, because I could sense it was around me. So it was like, F me, you know, like it said the FU word. And I caught it on video, and I placed it here on Spiritual Encrypted Encounters. I got it on YouTube. The same site here, Spiritual Encrypted Encounters, I got it on YouTube also. I've actually been doing this for a while, since 2015, 2016, somewhere around there, that time frame. My original group was called Positive Spiritualist, but I guess the powers be on Facebook, you know, because I had a lot of spiritual videos about maintaining the Love Foundation and how to fight things spiritually, that they permanently deleted that account under Abe Cius or Abram Cius. And when they deleted that, all my videos and pictures that I had there got deleted also. So I recreated Positive Spiritualist, but it stopped growing. I think it was targeted there because of the name, and at the same time there was other people in groups. You know how this is spiritual encrypted encounter. I left cryptid there because what happened was a lot of people from the cryptid community, which whether it was Bigfoot believers or Dogman believers, they didn't want to accept the spiritual aspect of it, of spiritual, because it was up to me, I would just name it spiritual encounters, right? But a lot of them came up against me negative, in which it deleted my other group, Positive Spiritualists. So I said, all right, I got you. I'm going to leave spiritual cryptid encounters on there. So that's what I created, spiritual cryptid encounters. You know, and I'm going to leave it that way. The reason I'm going to leave it that way because it wasn't for the people that come up against me negative. My site probably would have been grown a lot more, but you know, they permanently deleted it off of Facebook. I had a lot of viewers there already, but it is what it is, you know. There's one thing about me. I believe they did that so I could stop making these videos or stop putting my wisdom and knowledge out there. Because there's a lot of groups that are out here that they want you to believe in something, you know. They want you to believe that Bigfoot is real. They want you to believe that a dogman is real. They want you to believe that UFOs are real, aliens are real. They want you to believe that. I'm just here as Spiritual Encrypted Encounters to let you know that a lot of the things that people are witnessing, you know, I think there was one dealing with somebody that witnessed a alien or a UFO. You got to remember one thing, brothers and sisters. The devil, Lucifer, he was once called the angel of light. He is a trickster. So does he have the capability, or the demons that are affiliated with him, to have the capabilities to mimic a UFO or a bright light? Yes. Do they have the ability to mimic, to look like an alien, or what people think how alien looks? Yes. Does it have the capability to take the manifestation of a Bigfoot, a dogman, or any kind of cryptid that's a people named cryptid? Yes, because they've done it before. They've been here since the beginning of time. Created by the Watchers. It became disembodied. They became Nephilim. God created the flood to destroy the Nephilim because the Nephilim were destroying everything on earth. They were destroying man too. So God created the great flood to destroy the Nephilim, in which it became disembodied Nephilim, right? But I call them DDN, disembodied demonic Nephilim, because the Watchers became demons. The Watchers were the creators, in which they became disembodied. So they're in spirit form, and they're demons. That's what we know them as, demons. So do they have the capabilities to do a lot of the things that people are seeing out there? Yes, they do. They have those capabilities. Can they talk different languages? Yes. Do the disembodied videos that I have? Yes, they have those capabilities. And many other capabilities. They're just here amongst us. You know, we're talking about, people want to talk crazy. Well, this is spiritual crazy talk now. They're amongst us because they want to deceive as many people as possible. What is their main goal? You know, they hate, despise humans. They dislike humans. So they're not for us. They're against us. The reason they dislike human beings, this disembodied demonic Nephilim, is this. They wasn't created by God. The Watchers created them. So they're demonic beings. They will never have a chance to make it into the kingdom of heaven, because the Watchers, the Legion, and the Satan have fallen, cast down to the earth. So they're created out of pure evil. So they will never make it into the kingdom of heaven. So their works here on earth is to try to, should I say it, to deceive many people. When you hear about suicides, many people are being deceived by this disembodied demonic beings. When we talk about crazy, they start hearing things, they start seeing pictures in their mind, because this DDNs was trying to bond them to do these things that they're seeing, you know. So if they're not able to fight them spiritually, then they've already lost the battle. That's why there's got to be understanding to this, of what I'm talking about. How you doing, Sister Marlene? How you doing? That's why I make these videos. There's got to be understanding. There's got to be a certain understanding what the main goal is, right? And that's the goal of the disembodied demonic Nephilim, is to bond people, right? When they bond people, they're not able to see things spiritually, right? So they're not going to be able to see things spiritually, feel things spiritually, because of the bondage. So they have to break free from the bondage. Sometimes what causes that is generational curses, where it can be this DDNs, demonic beings, jumping from generation to generation till somebody makes a spiritual stance within that bloodline and cut the negative ties of the past. You have to cut those negative ties so it won't jump from generation to generation, you know. So that's why it's very important to maintain a love foundation. Forgive is part of love, and you know, sometimes it's hard for people to forgive, and the reason it's hard for them to forgive is not because because of them, it's because they're being bonded by these unseen forces that they don't want them to forgive, because they already got them where they want them. So once they forgive, I'll tell you, forgiveness, when you forgive, brothers and sisters, it's like a lot of things are lifted off of you. The negative ties of generational curses are broken. Anything negative that was around you flees, because when you truthfully forgive from within your heart, your love becomes that much greater, in which the Heavenly Father steps in, clears everything around you. Then He blesses you for doing an act of God, because, you know, He's a forgiving God, and you forgive truthfully. Then He blesses you with the spiritual gift of discernment, which you're able to see things that others cannot see. You're able to hear things that others cannot see. And that's part of the spiritual gift of discernment that He blesses you with to help you through this journey in life. But like I said, the DDN's main goal is to block your spiritual senses, or for you not to know the Heavenly Father, because they don't want you to make it into the kingdom of heaven. We're children of God. It's our birthright to make it into the kingdom of heaven. They're just trying to prevent that. So when you see a UFO, a light, a flying orb, an orb, a Bigfoot, a dogman, that's a DDN that wants you to see something so you can believe what you're seeing. But just because you believe you're seeing a UFO, an orb, an alien, a dogman, a Bigfoot, don't mean it's that. But if you're believing in it, then if it's the DDN, the disembodied demonic Nephilim manifestation, then you're believing in it, right? Even though it's taking the manifestation, it's still a disembodied demonic Nephilim. So you're believing in that, in the disembodied demonic Nephilim. So it's going to have bondage over you and control over you till you find a way to break free from it. And I just spoke to y'all how to break free from that kind of bondage. But anyways, brothers and sisters, thank y'all for tuning in this evening. There was just a quick video about what I think about crazy, and I brought a lot of aspects of crazy To the people that come at me in a negative way, that they just don't know of the many crazes there is in this life. uh, Instead of saying something about the picture or video or something, they want to see something come at me in a negative way, but the way they're coming at me don't even bother me. But because I've been to so many different kind of crazies in life, the la vida loca, the crazy life. I've seen it, I've been there, and I've done it. But anyways, thank you all for tuning in tonight. God bless every single one of y'all and your families, and peace out.